Because maybe
I would have been there shirtless going crazy.
You're gonna be the one that saves me.
It should be going hard.
What is up? Welcome to Just Offside, the weekly MLS show where we take your comments and talk about them. My name is Louie.
And I'm Mikey.
And we have been gone for 2 weeks, so thank you for returning if you are a returning viewer. I was away in Spain visiting my girlfriend, and that's why there was no content being posted on the channel. But I did have a good time out there, went to a game. If you want to hear a little bit about how it was, I talked about it a lot on this week's episode of the podcast that comes out tomorrow. So check out Culture FC. The link will be in the description below. We have a new episode coming out tomorrow, and it's full steam ahead from here on out. Hopefully no more 2 week long breaks. But yeah, let's jump into your comments from a couple weeks ago. We'll run through them real quick before we dive into this week's action.
Our friend, Sir Consumar, says, good stuff, guys, liking the MLS content. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Our boy Brad Jr. 10 says, LAFC looks scary, my dudes. Glad they play in the West. It's a great thing ATL didn't play this week because you didn't need to drink if they don't play. Very true, my friend.
And my best friend, Sebastian Gomez, says, man, tell me why Manny has more charm than you, Malcolm. I'm so far past the name jokes, I don't even know where we're at. But all jokes aside, you guys are great. And Mikey, you're sounding so much better. Love it. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Malcolm's been taking your words to heart, Sebastian. He's getting better, man. We're working on it.
I've been screaming on the mic, you know what I mean?
And lastly, Gabriel Pereira says, I love you both. Keep up the hard work. Thank you, Gabe. I love you too, buddy. Well, there you are, guys. Those are the comments from the past couple weeks. Make sure you're leaving your comment down below so that we can feature you in next week's episode.
And for our first game, Sporting Kansas City hosted the New England Revolution in what was an insanely entertaining game with so much drama, which ended in a 4-4 draw, and both teams split the points.
Hold up. Before we went on break, if you had told me that the New England Revolution were going to score 4 goals against one of the better sides in the MLS and SKC, I would have said, you're fucking lying. But if you then follow that up with New England's defense collapsed and they blew a 3-1 lead and finished the game with 9 men, I would have said, there's the New England Revolution that I know and love.
Hey.
I don't know so much about love anymore, but there's the New England Revolution that I know.
The Warriors also blew a 3-1 lead, so.
But as for the game, there was just so much drama. There was actually a ton of firsts for the New England Revolution. Clearly, they can never seem to score any goals, so when they score 4, there's a lot of shit that happens. So, Revs rookie Tejan Buchanan gets 2 assists. Juan Caicedo, the second of the 2 Caicedos on the Revs, gets his first and second goals for his new club. And the other Revs rookie, Jones, also gets a goal. After Carles Gil gets his penalty saved, the rebound falls to him. He buries it to get his first goal for New England as well.
And Christian Nemeth scored 2 against his former club, which propelled his team to get a 4-4 draw, which also saw the Revs finish off the game with 9 men as Brandon Bai and Adi Baba got sent off.
Yeah, man, this one was a great game overall. It was weirdly entertaining. Most games that involve the Revs is not entertaining, at least not from the Revs' perspective. This game was good, man. They actually looked really good going forward. This was probably the best this Revs team has played in maybe 2 years.
Literally.
They looked like they wanted it. They looked like they were wanting to go forward, but it just seems like they have this giant mental block about defending that somehow it just like midway through the game, just nope, we can't defend, and we just are awful at what we do. Their team is so really weird.
Yeah. Hey, at least they have a starting point. Their attack's looking good. Once they get their attack set, we can get the defense set.
Which is interesting because, before we left on our break, they were not bottom of the Eastern Conference, and yet here we are. The Revs play their best game of the season, yet they still draw 4-4, and they drop down the table. So I have such weird mixed feelings about this whole game because I want to ask you guys, was this game encouraging for the Revs where, they scored 4 goals, they looked good going forward? Or was it just more of that same bullshit frustration where it's like, we can't seem to defend and we're just going to have these lapses and blow leads? Like, it was this weird game to me. It was like almost paradoxical in a sense where it was like, they're really good, but they're also really fucking bad. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Was it more, where on the scale of frustrating to encouraging was the Revs game this past week?
And for SKC, it was an encouraging display to have them claw back from 3-1 down, from 4-2 down to get the draw. So it's very encouraging, especially at home. They haven't been too good at home.
Or anywhere, really, this season. Then again, they did beat Montreal 7-1 a couple of weeks back.
But that is Montreal.
Well, funny you should say that, but we'll put a note in that and we'll talk about it later. But SKC is another one of these weird teams where it's like, are they good? Are they not good? What is happening with them? They were in the CONCACAF Champions League. They were really good last year towards the end of the year. They made it deep into the playoffs. But it seems like this season, I don't know if it's injuries, I don't know what it is that's going on with their team, but they just haven't been clicking the way that they should be. So again, for SKC, it's that thing. It's like, was this display encouraging, or was it bad that they let up 4 goals to the Revs? So again, I don't know how to tell. Like, this game was just such a weird, awesome, entertaining, crazy, frustrating game. But it was cool, man. It was definitely from a neutral. You guys probably enjoyed the hell out of that game.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was an interesting one, to say the least. Oh, also, shout out to our boy Cody Cropper, who made a monster diving save I forget who it was for SKC, but all I remember is that the ball's on the goal line. Cody Cropper dives across, has like a hand of steel. He blocks it on the goal line to stop SKC from scoring. And I was like, my God, that is an incredible stop. He also got a hand on the PK that Gutierrez scored.
Hey, I'm glad to see Cody Cropper's back.
I'm happy to see him starting, man. I'm glad he's hopefully keeping this starting role for himself. I know his defense isn't really helping him out recently, but encouraging signs from Cody Cropper.
And for the next match, 2 of the best teams in the West duke it out for a highly anticipated rematch between LAFC and Seattle after LAFC ran through Seattle 4-1 in their last match.
Which was a week ago, by the way. And side note, before we get to the game, I wish this game was a little bit further into the season. I mean, we just had LAFC versus Seattle last weekend, and these are 2 of the best teams in the West. I want to see this game again, but much further into the season. Like, why do we got to play once one week and then the next week? Whoever made the schedule for this year, you suck. That was not cool. Like, it was an entertaining game, don't get me wrong, but why do you have to put them in back-to-back weeks? I don't get it.
Hey, man, maybe they knew LAFC would steamroll them in the first one, and you know what? We got to run it back.
But as for the game, there was plenty of drama. Within the first couple minutes, actually, 40 seconds in, terrible back pass from LAFC just gifts Jordan Morris a perfect ball to run onto, and he calmly slots it right around LAFC's keeper to give his side the 1-0 lead. But that lead didn't really last long either, because like maybe 3 minutes later, Carlos Vela goes and equalizes on the other end. With that goal, Carlos Vela brings his tally to 11 goals and 5 assists this season in the MLS. So, holy shit.
Holy shit. Carlos Vela might catch up and beat Joseph Martinez's record.
That would be incredible. I can't argue, man. At this rate, he's been going crazy. Saw this headline yesterday, and it was like, the MLS is making Carlos Vela look like Lionel Messi. And I was like, damn. I mean, as blasphemous as that is to compare Carlos Vela to Messi, I just think it kind of makes sense for this because the numbers don't lie. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a moron to think that he's as good as Lionel Messi, but the way he's been playing this season, he has been on one. I don't know what he did over the offseason, but man, whatever it is, it's working. Seattle would finish the game with 9 men after Christian Roldan got sent off, despite the fact that he was the one who was hit by Atuesta. But because when he got hit by Atuesta, his arm came up and like grazed Atuesta's face. Atuesta basically fell, flopped, pretended to get hit in the face. Ref goes to VAR. Despite the fact that he gets shoved by Atuesta, Roldan gets sent out. It was ridiculously controversial. In a league that has VAR, where he's looking at that on camera, that's bullshit. You cannot be sending off Roldan for that. It's a natural reaction. You get pushed, your hand's gonna go like this, like that, and then he all of a sudden gets like sent off for that. And I'm like, I just don't get it. We have VAR here. Why is this? Why? Like what? So after this rematch, which of these 2 teams look better? Which team do you think is gonna make it further into the playoffs this year? Was the 4-1 scoreline a fluke for LAFC? Or was this 1-1 scoreline the more deserved between the 2 teams? What do you guys think? Moving along to our next game, Toronto FC hosted the Portland Timbers, who, while we've been away, have actually gotten 2 wins in a row. This is a club that has been floundering all season, has not been able to score that many goals, has been pretty bad overall, but it's been nice to see them get 2 wins in a row, and they did get another win here, a 2-1 win over Toronto.
Damn, Toronto had been looking good as fuck, too.
For real.
And Toronto FC started off the match hot, Osorio scored probably the easiest goal he'll probably ever score in his life.
Before, Bill Tuilama came in and equalized with a banger of a goal. Your center back scoring that was absurd. Ball comes in from the corner. This dude picks it up on the volley, on the top of the box, and just rockets it home to equalize for Portland.
I don't even think their striker could probably do that.
Oh, man, that goal is as good as you're going to find, man. It was a phenomenal goal, so congrats to you, my friend.
After they got their equalizing goal, Portland put their foot on the gas, and Jeremy Ebobisse came through for his club and got them the win there.
I don't know if you guys saw, but when Ebobisse scored that goal, he was basically, not vertical, horizontal? What's the one? Horizontal. Basically, he did a diving header and his whole body went horizontal to score it. I was like, my God, dude. It was like kind of cool. It was like a frog. It was like, bloop.
A great setup play from the whole team, though.
Absolutely. It was a good cross that came in, got them the winner. And yeah, so guys, is Portland starting to turn it around, or is it still too early to say? What needs to change for them to keep this going? Let us know.
And one player who's been on absolute fire since our break, Alejandro Pozuelo, who's had 4 goals and 4 assists in 5 games. Even though he didn't have a goal or an assist in this game, he still looks like he's on top form. And now I have a question for you guys. Do you guys think that Pozuelo can be better than Giovinco? Do you think he'll be more valuable than Giovinco? Or is it still too early to tell? I want to talk about why the BMO field looked like fucking shit.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Montreal's pitch didn't look great either. Oh, man. I don't know.
BMO field looked like fucking shit. Like, can they start finding clubs for that?
That'd be nice.
But staying on shitty pitches, Montreal hosted the Chicago Fire to an absolute shithouse dirt field.
Near the corner flag, you couldn't see any grass. It was all dirt, but whatever.
Dude, it looked like they were playing in a sandbox,
But you know what? I prefer that over turf. Go play on dirt. I'd rather it be a dirt pitch over turf. No?
I would never.
No?
I would never.
You would rather it be turf?
Dude, I can't even play on turf now. No. I would still prefer it.
Yeah. All right, well.
But Omar Brown got the only goal in what was a super, super scrappy game for both teams to give Montreal the win and the 3 points.
And, okay, hold on. Another thing that has shocked me that while we were gone, how the hell did Montreal go from losing 7-1 to SKC and being pretty bad overall to being second in the East? Is no one else shocked by that? Is it just me because I was out of the country for 2 weeks? But this is strange. How did they jump up second? What have I been missing? Like, is there some secret sauce that's going on? Like, what's going on?
Dude, to be honest, man, the East is literally DC United and the rest of it's just trash.
Hey, don't say it like that. I don't know, man. I mean, I think there's been a couple teams that just need to get it up together, but DC has been pretty solid overall. But I want to know from the Montreal supporters, can this run continue? A lot of your wins have come from pretty subpar teams, I'm not going to lie. You beat the Revs.
Bro, the Revs subpar? They just dropped 4 on SKC. God.
You said that with a straight face. It was almost believable. And I guess technically the best win for Montreal came against Columbus. So am I being too harsh in thinking that Montreal has gotten an easy run of games, or has Montreal actually impressed? I don't know, guys. I was away. Let me know what you think. I was just shocked to see them in second.
Hell yeah, brother.
And now going down south to the A.
I mean, peace up. A-Town down.
Atlanta, we're looking for their first home win at the Benz this season, and I'm surprised it took until week 9 for them to do this. This is the MLS champs we are talking about here, but they were able to sneak off with a 1-0 win over the Colorado Rapids. So while goals have been pretty hard to come by for Atlanta, one player that seems to have not missed a beat from last season, and probably the only player who has not missed a beat from last season, is Julian Gressel. He was the one who pounced on a cross from Darlington Nagbe to give Atlanta the 1-0 win. And I really have just one question for everybody. Is there a better nickname in all of world football than Gresselmania? I have yet to think of one. Another massive talking point from this game, though, was Pity Martinez. Got subbed off by Frank de Boer and basically threw a fucking temper tantrum on the sidelines. Sits down, starts smacking stuff, kicks the chair right in front of him. Breck Shea's sitting in it. He goes, "What the fuck, bro? What the fuck you kicking me?" And he absolutely loses it. And it's pretty sad, man. This dude He's only played a handful of minutes this season. He hasn't really been getting in and out of the lineup. He's been being forced to play a ton of different positions every time he does play. So he's not really been able to even settle, but some people have been saying but it's 9 weeks in, he should have already been able to settle into this team and all of this stuff. But I don't know, man. Something's just weird. We know he's class. He was the best South American player last year. That's saying something in and of itself. He won the Copa Libertadores. This guy is a baller.
Won the biggest trophy for his club possible in South America. Was the best player in South America by far, but still can't get there. Is there still hope for Pity Martinez, or is it his fault for not being able to adapt, or is it the chaos surrounding Atlanta United that has led him to not be able to adapt fully?
Man, I sure hope that he adapts. I think he's an absolute baller, and he's an asset to the MLS in every sense of the word. If he gets on one, he could probably be the best player in the MLS by far. In terms of raw natural talent, man, this guy has it all. Unfortunately, I feel like people are starting to develop very bad opinion of him just based on, clearly he was throwing a tantrum, doesn't look great, but you got to remember, the dude's a star. He is a baller. I get it. He's replacing Miguel Almiron, who was, by far one of the best players in the MLS for about 2 years running. So I get it. It's a big shoes to fill, but I really think they just need to settle down a little bit. The same way that they kind of settled down with Frank, and now he's starting to get a couple of wins here and there. They're not at the bottom of the East anymore. So, I think it's just a matter of a slow grind to get them going, but...
Man, I'm not even going to get into what I think is the problem there, because I've been saying it for weeks that Frank's got to go, but I'm not even going to get into that this week.
Yeah, we'll leave it there for now. We've spoken plenty about it.
And moving along to New York, where NYCFC hosted Orlando City. Nani's got another goal to add to his goal-scoring record, 5 in 4 games.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. He also scored a goal to break Sean Johnson's save record right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Sean Johnson had a couple games, no goals, and so. But my man Heber got the equalizing goal late on, which gave both teams a point. And now NYCFC is unbeaten in 5 games.
Heber got his, you keep saying it. Ebbe got his second goal in 3 starts for his new club, so he looks like he's adapting well. I wanted to say moving along to the other New York club, but I can't. They're in New Jersey. The New Jersey Red Bull hosted FC Cincinnati, and actually were able to sneak out with a 1-0 win. It was fancy footwork from their forward players. Dude gets the ball at the top, back heels it, and Lade just rockets one into the top left corner. But if we're being honest, the Red Bull probably should have lost this game. FC Cincinnati hit the post or the crossbar 3 different times. They were pressing the Red Bull constantly. They look like the much better team of the two. Unfortunately, the Red Bull get the points. FC Cincinnati don't got nothing to show for this one. But, it was encouraging, I guess, to see from FC Cincy.
Hell yeah, and the Red Bull got their win with Bradley Wright Phillips on the bench, who's been having an absolute ghost season.
Where is he? Where did it go? What is going on with him?
That's why he's on the bench. And going across the country to LA, the Galaxy hosted Real Salt Lake, and they got their 6th home win of this season. The match ended out 2-1, and Ibra got the winning goal, as Ibra always does.
But what was really interesting about this game was what was going on the pitch between Ibrahimovic and Onuoha. Basically, from the 60th minute forward, Ibrahimovic was dogging this guy, going after him every chance he got. He was defending Ibra, so Ibra was going over to him being like, I'm going to hurt you, I'm going to kill you, all this stuff. And clearly, Ibrahimovic got what he wanted, because for that equalizing goal, Onuoha's brain just shut off for a quick second. He was so flustered with Ibra that Ibra he slipped right past him and buried one into the back of the net. Apparently, they continued their argument into the dressing room, and Ibra tried to apologize, but Onuoha was not having it. He was saying how it was disrespectful, how he's the face of the MLS and all this BS. And quite frankly, I just think you're super soft. You are TP soft, you are Play-Doh, because dude, that's Ibra. He is going to try and get in your head. He's going to try and do whatever he can to get a win. Clearly, he didn't hurt you. He didn't try to kill you. He went to apologize after the game. He's just trying to get in your head, and he won. And now you look like a dummy saying how you refuse his apology, all this bullshit. Sucks to be you, bro. Your team lost, you look bad, and now you sound like you're crying on social media. Sorry. And moving along to our last game that we're going to cover this week. Minnesota hosting DC United. And before we get into the actual game, I just want to tell you guys, Minnesota, your stadium is beautiful. Your crowd has been phenomenal over the past couple of games. Unfortunately, it has taken 3 tries for you guys to get your first win of the season at home. And even though you picked possibly the most overplayed and worst song that Oasis has ever made as your anthem to sing when you guys win, I still love you, and it's still heartwarming to see you guys belt out Wonderwall at the end of every win.
This man said most overrated Oasis
It
song.
is! There are plenty of other Oasis songs they could have picked to sing. Okay? But you know what?
Bro, Wonderwall is fire, bro. What?
Traditions are traditions. They don't have to make sense. So I just love it that you guys do it every single home win. It's really cool to see. It's something that's unique to you guys, and it just is really interesting to watch.
Bro, deadass said fucking Wonderwall is trash. Holy shit, we could fight after this episode. What the fuck? But moving along to the game, Minnesota hosted DC United, which was a good game, very tight affair, and it took almost to the end of the game for a team to make the breakthrough effort and get a goal, which ended up going to Minnesota United, and they ended up getting the 3 points at home.
DC, who since we've been gone have been kind of up and down, but are still sitting in first. Unfortunately, weren't able to pick up any points. Minnesota did pick up the points.
And at final whistle, everyone took their lighters out and started screaming Wonderwall, and that shit got turned up.
Because maybe
I would have been there shirtless going crazy.
you're gonna be the one that saves me.
It should be going hard.
And after all, you're my Wonderwall.
That should go hard, bro. That should go crazy. Any Metro Boomin to make a remix.
But there you have it, guys. Another awesome action-packed week in the MLS. Sorry that we've been away for 2 weeks. Glad to be back. Super excited for the rest of the season going forward. If you're new to the show, you're just tuning in, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the episode, and leave your comment. We'll feature you in next week's episode. You can follow us on all of our socials at Trebl Soccer. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. It's all Trebl Soccer. And actually, check out our brand new redesigned website at www.treblsoccer.com. We have a new blog up. We're going to start putting a lot more articles on there so you can get even more content from us. So go check that out.
Make sure to check out the podcast at Culture FC on Instagram. You can get it on any platform that you listen to podcasts on, may it be iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. We have it all on there, so make sure to check that out.
We'll catch you next week. Later.
Peace, y'all.